Wait a minute. It's Friday? It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grandpa Man, and the Friday Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk best games, Dan Charles is his name on the Friday Baseball Show. He's been in the owner's suite. He's been doing sports talk since 81. He's only lived in Baltimore for 45 years, but we'll give him a break on that hump. They'll acknowledge football, don't expect calls. It's the Friday Baseball Show. It's okay to say Glenn's back on Monday, but this is the Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show. The Friday Baseball Show.
And welcome into the Friday Baseball Show on this Juneteenth. Happy Juneteenth holiday out there. It's a federal holiday, even though the federal government doesn't do much to promote that. But happy Juneteenth.
Get people off work. Yeah, but we're working. We're here.
We're working. Here's what we've got today on the Friday Baseball Show. Luke Jackson, managing editor of PressBox and PressBoxOnline.com, and one of the co-hosts of the Monday Baseball Chat with Ross Grimsley and yours truly, Stan the Fan.
Oh, nice.
Luke Jackson will join us today.
Are you guys on this Monday?
Yes, we are.
What time are you
We're
guys
on about 5 o'clock, I think.
All right, about 5
All
o'clock.
right.
Because, yeah, late game, obviously. Yeah.
And then
we can find those on the PressBox YouTube and Facebook, I believe.
Yep.
PressBox Sports on Facebook and YouTube.
That's exactly where you can find it. And at 11:40, we've got Andre Magaro, who is the play-by-play voice of the Chesapeake Baysox, as well as being the broadcasting and creative media manager. We'll talk to Andre Magaro about the Baysox season and what his responsibilities are in such a lofty title, the broadcasting and creative media manager. Also, just want to shout out, I don't give him enough credit, Chris Erich, who wrote the Glenn Clark radio song and did the same for the Friday Baseball Show. We thank Chris. Did a super job on that, and we use it every week. Griffin Bass is with me. Griffin, Orioles 9-game road trip. We deemed it somewhat maybe critical, is a little too strong, but a very important series to at least kind of come back 5-4. 4-5 wouldn't be a disaster, especially in light of the fact that they've lost 2 of the first 3. But the task gets even harder now after going to Seattle and, as I said, losing 2 out of 3 there. We've got the Dodgers, and we've got Trey Gibson going tonight against Roski Sasaki at 10:10 on Masson. Tomorrow, that same time, Trevor Rogers against what's his first name?
Yoshinobu
Yamamoto.
There you
10:10.
go.
And then on Sunday, by the way, it's Victor Wembanyama.
It is not.
Wembanyama.
No, that was closer.
I
I think you're on the precipice.
I had it.
precipice. Yeah.
Wembanyama.
That was as close
Okay.
as that might be as close as you're gonna get.
Say it?
Victor Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
There you go.
Okay, Wembanyama.
Wembanyama.
All right.
Or Wemby.
He's a runner-up. What's the difference? He's not the
That's true.
champion.
He's a loser.
Yeah, he's a loser.
He kind of sucks.
Cat and Jalen Brunson, they're winners.
What's Cat's name?
Towns.
Okay. What are the
Carl Anthony Towns.
There you go.
Yeah.
Nice. Carl Tony Towns. Yeah. Carl Tony Towns.
I call him Carl Anthony.
Did you see a guy who did not really play? I don't think he played at all in the finals. Tyler Kolek is one of the reserve guards for the Knicks, and he was out, obviously celebrating with all the fans and stuff. So then he went from, being in the mix of the crowd,
Right.
and then coming back to like jump on like the buses and stuff on the
And he
parade.
fell off.
No, he didn't fall off. The cops were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! Come on, dude, you can't. Oh, this is for the players only." And he was like, "I'm on the team," and because he's just like a generic looking white guy. It was a good bit there.
I'll never forget the first night that I ever worked for the Baltimore Bullets. I was a ball boy for the Bullets. The first night I worked there, I got in there. The elevator takes you up, and then there's a secondary door to get off the elevator, and they had to open that from the inside. And I got in, and the trainer of the team welcomed me. It was Bill Ford, very heavy-set guy. And I'm in there like 2 minutes, and I hear the elevator come, and I hear this guy, young black kid.
Yeah.
The Bullets had just acquired him, and he's banging on the door because he couldn't figure out why. When he's going, "I'm John Austin. I'm with the Baltimore Bullets." I'll never forget that. And he was banging and kept saying that. "I'm John Austin."
And you wouldn't let him on.
It wasn't my job. I didn't know how to let him on.
Here's Tyler Kolek
Okay.
as he's just high fiving all the fans and stuff, and then the guy finally grabs him and says, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa!"
Whoa.
a couple of guys holding him back, and then somebody has to say, "No, he's on the team." So he tweeted later, "I swear I'm on the team, bro. I swear."
I'm on the team. It's
So that was
understandable. I didn't know he was on the team.
fun. So that was fun because the Orioles last year they were not fun whatsoever.
No. The Orioles were, other than the brilliant performance by Kyle Bradish and the near brilliant performance by Shane Baz. I mean, he pitched
outside
a very
that first
good game
inning.
after the first inning. And Jim Palmer, I think, was right. I don't know what Leody Taveras was doing.
Trying to barehand that ball.
Trying to barehand a ball with a lot of spin on it. It was just...
With Josh Naylor coming off of he had missed 3 games because of an injury. So
have you noticed that the Orioles' right and left fielders have the hardest time picking up balls? It sounds like I'm picking on Taylor.
Ward. I feel like I can't. I can't say you're wrong. No,
O'Neill's terrible at it. Beavers isn't much better. Taveras has got trouble picking up the ball, and even the best defensive outfielder, Colton Cowser, has had a couple troublesome plays like that. But anyway, as Griffin says, Orioles did not play well yesterday at all. And again, this is what happens when a team invests substantial draft inventory on pitching. You get the likes of Logan Gilbert, George Kirby, and a 6th-round pick in Brian Wu. But our general manager hasn't seen fit to do that until this year. And the guy that I wanted to see is Joseph Zerwa, who's pitching tomorrow night at Bowie, and I'm unable to go. I went Wednesday night. I saw Luis De Leon pitch. Reasonably impressive for a young left-hander. But that's
how did he do on that was Wednesday night? De Leon pitch?
He didn't do great, but I got to be honest, his defense behind him was very similar to the Orioles' defense, very erratic. Ethan Anderson, who's
the catcher,
11 homers, 26 RBIs, 255 average on base of 362. Each time they tried to steal base, I think it was 3 times, the exchange from the glove to his hand, there was a substantial bobble.
Oh, dang. That's unfortunate.
Yeah. He threw both guys. No, I'm kidding.
Then that'd be pretty impressive. Yeah,
that would be very impressive.
And you said Griffin O'Farrell was not impressive as well.
No, Griffin O'Farrell not for a number 1 draft pick. No.
Yeah, I believe he was 30th or 32nd.
24th, I think, which I didn't understand.
I thought he was 30. I think he was 30. I think he was a
competitive balance pick.
Yeah,
but
still
if you look at his bio, it said first round, 24th pick.
Oh,
That's
really?
what I saw. Anyway, Griff O'Farrell hitting 200.
32nd pick.
32nd.
Yeah, he was.
So I just misread that. All right.
Oh, in the 2024.
Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm saying, I'm saying you misread it. Yeah. You got it wrong.
I got it wrong. Won't be the last time. It's not the first time. Won't be the last time. All right, are we ready to go with our guests?
It looks like we are. Looks like we are, Stan. Yeah.
Looks like Luke Jackson is with us. Luke,
Hey, what's up?
you look a little rough in the morning.
Oh no, it's all right.
I'm kidding. How you doing, Luke Jackson?
I'm good. We had a tough softball doubleheader last night.
Ooh.
Lost both games. I can't hit. It's just I'm not doing great right now.
Really? You're kind of like the Orioles?
Yes.
Who are you like?
Cowser, maybe?
Like Ryan Mountcastle? Ryan Mountcastle?
No.
Right, Mackle's not even playing.
Jeremiah Jackson when he's
there
cold.
you go. There you go. Perfect. That's a perfect. He's on flow too.
My base. Since we're talking about my baseball team, we won yesterday. We picked up a big win. We won 7. We won 7-5. Yeah.
What's your comp?
My comp is probably Nick Markakis.
Really?
Corner outfielder, left-handed,
You got the
obviously.
Reliable,
not
plays
yet,
every
not
single
yet.
day. You know.
Yeah.
The guy that his teammates look toward. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, I'm a leader on the team.
Kind of like on Glenn Clark Radio, everyone looks toward you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Luke, I made mention to Griffin that Griffo Farrell, not exactly a great prospect. Did you see him much at Aberdeen?
I saw him plenty at Aberdeen.
And
my reaction was similar to yours, that I was surprised that he was the 32nd overall pick.
I was wrong.
And he's just not particularly physical. He's listed at 6'1", 195. I don't know if he's even 6'1". There's not much power there. He's got good feel defensively, but he can't hit his way out of a wet paper bag.
Is he a nice guy, though?
I'm sure he's a nice guy.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. What about Virginia alums, Griffin? Are they usually nice guys?
They have been. We've had Ethan Anderson on the show a few times, and he's been very pleasant to talk to. He's got a good sense of humor. Yeah.
There you go.
Now, did you see Ethan Anderson catch at Aberdeen?
I didn't see him catch much at Aberdeen.
Okay.
Honestly.
Because he seems to have one little tiny problem.
Maybe he was nervous because Stan was in the stands.
They stole 2 or 3 bases off him. Each time they stole a base, he bobbled the exchange.
Well, that's a problem for a catcher.
That is. Do you think? I just wanted to confirm that with you.
Right. Well,
it's a problem for a catcher.
You know what? I might have not seen him catch at all, or maybe once in Aberdeen, because he was hurt a good bit last year, and he was playing a lot of first base as well, DHing a lot. Yeah. He's got a pretty left-handed swing.
Yeah, he's 11 homers, 26 RBIs, and 360 on base.
Pretty physical guy, and I think he can hit a little bit. I don't know where he's going to play if he can't catch, because he's not going to have the bat, I don't think, to be like a first base DH type. Right. So he's going to have to figure out how to catch, and what you're telling me is that he's a long way off from that.
Well, it looked on one game it looked that way. Did you see either Anderson de los Santos or Willie Vasquez play at all last year?
I'm sure I did. I can't remember exactly what I thought of them at this point.
Both of them had nice nights the other night. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Like Thomas Sosa is on that Chesapeake roster.
Aaron Estrada, right?
I saw a lot of both of those guys. Like Thomas Sosa is like a big dude. He can really run. Looks great coming off the bus. But the production the past couple of years hasn't really matched the tools. Yeah, he's probably one of the most tooled up guys in the entire system. Okay. But the production just hasn't been there quite yet. And then the other guy was Aaron Estrada, who is a little guy. He's like a 5'9" second baseman. Second base has been
listed at 5'11".
He's got 10 homers and 30 RBIs.
I would be surprised if he's actually 5'11". From what I saw in Aberdeen, he looked more like a 5'9" guy. But he can hit.
I measure him. He's 5'9.5".
There you go. He might be.
Thank you, Stan.
Luke, we're talking about Chesapeake Baysox because I went out the other night. We're going to talk to Andre Magaro, the play-by-play voice of the Baysox. But let's turn to the Orioles in the time we have. We deemed this on our show with Ross the other day. It was a very kind of critical West Coast trip, 9 games. And it's just more of the same, so far through 3 games.
No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it was really heartening to see Bradish pitch the way he's capable of pitching. I thought he was outstanding on Wednesday, and that was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
But
just as if you're a Mariner fan, it was fun to watch Logan Gilbert on Friday or Brian Wu on Tuesday or Brian Wu yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, Seattle has some outstanding arms in their rotation, and they've got some enormous arms to lock down games that they're ahead late as well. And you could tell, like with Brian Wu yesterday, I didn't watch the entire game because, again, I had to get to softball. But you could tell how effective he is when he can pitch from in front. And Logan Gilbert, I thought, was outstanding on Tuesday because he was dotting 96, 97, 98 with great extension wherever he wanted. So you could tell why the Mariners the last few years have been so competitive in that division. Their starting pitching gives them a chance to win every game. Sometimes the offense comes and goes, but typical of a baseball season, as soon as they get Cal Raleigh back, Julio Rodriguez is now banked.
Yeah.
So, and didn't someone else they got back JP Crawford. So that'll be helpful for them. And now he's playing third. He's a little short on range, I guess, for shortstop at this point of his career, but he's plenty fine at third, it seems.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. You know, from doing the show with me and editing my columns and so on and so forth, not a big fan of Mike Elias's pitching strategy.
Right.
And yet I turn around and seriously, when you have failures in the draft in the first round, like Griff O'Farrell, Heston Kjerstad,
right.
Vance Honeycutt,
Uh-huh.
and a couple others, and yet we turn around and we're facing a draft in 3 weeks, or 3 to 4 weeks, and there's no talk at all of the Orioles drafting, and they've got the 7th pick overall, of taking a chance on a pitcher. Does that surprise you that Elias seems so hell-bent on quadruple downing on his philosophy, which has left the team, in my opinion, scuffling for pitching every single year?
I will say this in fairness to Elias, he actually has taken some arms early in recent drafts.
Well, Zerwa in particular.
Zerwa last year, who looks great.
Yeah.
JT Quinn last year, who looks great. And they took a little bit of a gamble on Quinn because he started his career at Ole Miss, wasn't good, went to Georgia mostly as a reliever, was pretty good. Now they've transitioned him to a full-time starter. He's been great this year. And then Jackson Bowman.
He's pitching at Frederick, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They actually had him on the show on Glenn Clark Radio recently.
Yep.
So check that out. Griffin can tell you all about that. So they have taken some arms earlier than they have, early in the time here.
Is there anybody that you read so far this year when you look at the board, Jackson Flora or a couple of the other top-rated pitchers? Do you see anybody that's enticing to you to take it number one?
Oh, I don't know about that. But in terms of their overarching philosophy of not taking pitchers with their top pick, Griffin, are they so far down the road on this philosophy that it would be silly to divert from it now, even though that they have had some misses in the first round with the hitters that they've taken?
I left off Bradfield. I mean, Bradfield's far from
well, I told you about
Yeah.
Enrique. Nice kid. But I told you about him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be silly to veer off of that and start and target a really high end arm. I think the problem is, as Stan kind of said, this draft isn't necessarily there's no Paul Skeens obviously in this draft.
Right.
Like there's no really massive power arm that's blowing anybody away.
There's
so
no
it just doesn't
Jacob
seem.
Mizorowski.
No, there's no Mizorowski, even though he was he was late in the or not late.
They didn't
but
get a
he
whole
was
lot of
low.
lottery luck either. They got
Yeah.
the 7th pick, and they could have gotten better, but they got 7th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would be shocked if they took an arm, just because there's really none that are banging down the door to be drafted in the
The mock drafts that I've read, none of them have them taking a pitcher, as Stan
none.
mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Burgess seems to be the consensus that they're going to end up with an outfielder.
Now I've seen like a college outfielder, as you mentioned. I've also seen a high school infielder.
Right.
Maybe it's because of the way Ben McDonald's talking about him, but I like this kid Owen Hall from North Carolina. I don't know how high he's going to go, but Ben McDonald loves him, so I kind of like him.
Is he an outfielder?
I think he's an infielder.
Infielder.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last first rounder from North Carolina has not worked out.
That's
great.
true. That is true. So maybe don't.
That was
do
Honeycutt, correct?
Yes.
Actually, is an outfielder. Hall is an outfielder.
Okay. All right.
It's funny. I saw Honeycutt a bunch last year, and if you catch him on the right day, you can actually see all the tools that they saw while he was at North Carolina. You just can't hit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
That is not good.
It's a little bit of a problem for a number one pick. Yeah. All right. So, do you see any positives out there for the Orioles right now?
Well, off the top of my head, Bradish's start on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That was a big positive. I mean, that looked like pre-surgery Bradish.
Yep.
And if they can get that more consistently throughout and I don't know if they will. I mean, the first full season off of Tommy John surgery is a little bit of a roller coaster. I mean, you can ask Shane Boz about that last year when he was at Tampa Bay. A little bit of a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But if they can get that version of Bradish consistently, that's a big help to them. I thought Boz settled down last year. After the first inning yesterday.
Yeah, I thought he looked fine. Yeah.
And I think he's been, for the most part, after the rough start to the season, I think he's been fine. And they paid him like 5 years, $68 million. That's $13 million a year, roughly. That's what a number 4 starter gets on the free agent market.
Yep.
They're paying him like a 3-4, and so far he's performed like a number 4 starter, and that's what it costs. Otherwise, I
what
think
about Brennan Young? You think we can
he's
buy?
been
Can we buy into
been-
this? Yeah.
He's been a fantastic story.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell you whether you should buy into it or not. I mean, but this is a kid they signed as an undrafted free agent for $20,000, and they're 9-2 in his starts this year.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love the story of like a kid like him getting punched in the face his first go around in the major leagues and then bouncing back the way he has. And he's gotten himself better. He's improved.
Yeah.
His stuff is a little better for me across the board from last year. So
Cover story worthy next spring?
I don't know if it's quite cover story.
I mean, if he
worthy.
continues this for another 2 months,
I was
right?
going to bring this up in a future editorial meeting, but I was thinking like a cover story on Griffin.
Oh, wow.
The
Griffin
producer
O'Farrell? Griff O'Farrell?
Okay.
You were talking
Griffin
about
Bass.
you were talking
Griffin
about
Bass,
Griffin
everybody.
Bass.
I don't know how much either of
he
those
brings some class.
would sell. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
What was that? What was that headline you had? Bass has class? Class for Bass?
Yeah,
well,
well,
that's
that
not
was,
me. That's Chris Arish who wrote the
Yeah.
song. He says Griffin Bass will bring some class.
Yeah.
That's a great
headline.
Thank
Great
you.
headline.
He brings some
Luke,
class.
where are you at on? Obviously, Glenn and I have been talking about it in depth all week. It's the Adley Rutschman trade conversation. Is it? I mean, do we obviously keep citing Manny Machado from a decade ago, or not quite a decade ago, but almost a decade ago, and getting Yasniel Diaz out of that. They did get Dean Kramer, I guess, but he wasn't supposed to be the
they
prize.
got Ryland Bannon in that deal too.
There's a good one.
They got 5 guys.
Well, I tell you what, if you talk to Buck Showalter, he knew that Dean Kramer was the only guy they got in that deal.
Yeah.
I mean, they've gotten a lot of cheap innings out of Dean Kramer.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so
They
that's
have.
not
I mean,
nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a spot in the rotation whenever he comes back. So
Yes,
I
he
mean,
does.
Yeah.
The interesting thing would be to know what we would have gotten had we dealt Machado exactly a year before. And I have to believe the return would have been more substantial. than
Well, I mean, yeah. I
Yasniel
mean, I bet if you
Diaz.
talk to Dan, he'll tell you that what he was roughly looking for if they dealt him at that time. Maybe they weren't looking at that at all, so he doesn't know. But I mean, they almost dealt Britton. I mean, they were very close to dealing Britton
to Houston, right?
to Houston. I forget what they exactly was going to come back.
Weren't we getting back Fisher, Derek Fisher,
I guess he won a World
leadoff
Series,
hitter
right?
that
Yeah.
never?
And it was wasn't it Colin Moran?
Oh yeah, I think it might have been. Moran.
And I don't know if the package would have ended up being anything. But anyway, the Adley Rutschman trade conversation. Let me ask you this, Griffin, since you asked me.
Okay.
Uh,
It's not how this works.
So I assume that if they miss any games next year, meaning the players in a work stoppage, that the players will end up getting the service time for that missed time, because that's what happened during the COVID season. They played 60 games. They got a full year of service. So say they only play, I do think they'll play a full season next year, but let's say they play
110 games.
They play 110 games. They get like the full year of service. And so, and the trade deadline might be only like 50 games into that season, and so you might, if you keep Adley Rutschman through the offseason, you might only have like 50 games more before you have to make a decision on him, right?
Right.
And so does that impact your thinking at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
About maybe wanting to do this now.
I think it probably should. I mean, man, I don't want to, because we had Eric Arditi on yesterday, and he's like, I mean, I want the team to win. I want to root, even if they are sneaking in as the third wild card this year. Like, it is more fun when the team is playing well, and it's hard to not just inherently root for the team. But I mean, yeah, when you look ahead, and if there is a season next year, if it's a truncated season, then what's the point? Like, they'd also have to probably they'd have to make more moves than they even made this past offseason in order for next season to make it feel next like season, it's worth it to keep Adley. Like,
so if they bring back pretty much the same core group,
right,
they would need to again make over the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
They need to get 2 or 3 more starters, which is something that they need every offseason now because they don't have a pipeline of pitching, as Stan has mentioned and written plenty of times. And then they would also need to make over the outfield as well, because they've been operating.
Leody Taveras.
There you go. Yeah. You know what? I was editing Stan's column, and I learned that they actually have Leody under team control for 1 more year. He has 1 more year of arbitration.
Right. So hold Adley then. Yeah, we're holding Adley.
So there you go. But they haven't really had a regular center fielder this year. Leody has played the most in center field, but he's a little soft defensively for me for that position.
But let me circle back to Griffin's question, though.
Yeah,
about
I know.
Rutschman.
I just went far afield.
What do you think? What do you think that it would cost? In other words, do you think the club and Rutschman are in the same zip code when it comes to his value? Say a 3-year,
I'm going to guess that
$57 million contract.
If they haven't extended him at this point, then they're probably not in the same zip code,
right?
And maybe it got to a point where maybe they would have had a chance to extend him while John was still running the club,
right?
And they weren't able to get it done then. And then once you get to this point and he gets over the hump of his slump, his prolonged slump,
right.
And now at this point he wants to test his value on the open market,
which he should. I mean, yeah,
which is completely
he's earned it,
right. He's earned it, and I think he would be hitting free agency at 29 and playing his first season on a new contract at age 30. If I'm not mistaken,
he's a free agent after this season, correct?
No, after next season.
After next season, okay.
So,
what do you think he is worth
in a trade?
So Joe Mauer got 8 years, 184. That was in 2010, though, obviously. So,
what did Cal Raleigh get?
He got about
5 years,
110 million, something like that for 5 years.
I'm guessing that, like, right now, the Orioles
6 years, 105 was Raleigh last year.
6 years, 105.
So I would think that Adley would want more than that.
Yeah.
Because I think Cal signed that with 2 years left before hitting free agency. Yeah, I think he actually fired Boris so he could sign that deal. But with Adley, he's a year and a half away. I think he would be looking for north of what Cal got.
He's 28 right now. So
I guess there's a couple things going on here. You would have to consider, like, how much is too much to invest in the catcher position? And that's obviously a position where one foul tip can change the trajectory of a catcher's career. Like, how deep do you want to go into that? That's number one. Number two, is Samuel Basallo just like a 2 game a week kind of catcher moving forward? I think that's probably what he is. Or do they view him in the future as being more of a 4 to 5 game a week? I don't think that's necessarily realistic with how big he might get, but hey, that's just me. The other thing is, like, do you still believe in this core to the degree that you want to buy into it like a player's 30s? Because I think it's fair to say at this point that it's not the biggest issue, but over the past few years, really, that Gunnar and Adley as the 1-2 is a little bit soft. Is a little bit soft of a top 2 if you're trying to build a first division team. What I also would say is that that's not the biggest problem on the club. Like those two have been underwhelming over the past couple of years. However, the biggest problem on the club is that they've been like bottom 5 in runs allowed the past couple of years, right? Like that's the biggest problem. Like those two guys, even if they've been underwhelming, are not the biggest problem. And so, and generally speaking, I'm talking in circles here. I'm sorry. Like it's probably good to be in the business of retaining good players. How long do you want to keep Adley around? Do you really want to keep him deep into his 30s? Like, I don't know. I don't know the answers to any of these questions. And maybe ahead of the deadline, say this West Coast trip doesn't go well, and it's obvious ahead of the deadline that the best thing to do is explore trades for guys on your own roster, whether they be expiring contracts or expiring after next year. You have to, unfortunately, decisions are afoot.
Yeah.
It's just that's just the way that's just the way this is playing out. And it's unfortunate, but hey, it's life.
All right. We're going to leave it at that. We're going to take our first break of the show. Luke, thank you. Enjoy your vacay. And
where are you going, Luke?
Going down the ocean, Juan.
Down the ocean. That's his yearly thing.
All right. Have fun.
Down the ocean. Have fun. You going to Shorebirds game?
They're out of town.
Ah.
So
can't you travel? Can't you travel?
It's poor planning on your part.
It's a good question. Like, where are they? Griffin might know better than me. The Shorebirds have this kid that they just called up from the Orioles. Just called up from FCL. His name is like Low Ray or something. Like he's got a funny name. And he's like killing it there. He's like 19 or 20 years old. Anyway,
what position?
I have no idea.
Shortstop Jaden Lowry.
That's him. That's him.
Yeah.
That's not the guy we got for Kittredge.
No, he was the 154th pick in the draft last year.
Okay.
They had a really nice draft last year. Yeah. The early returns on the draft last year have been very, very good.
He's a young kid, 18 or just turned 19.
All right, Luke. Have a great trip. We'll talk to you when you get back. All right.
All right.
Thank you for coming on. Appreciate it.
All right. You bet.
All right. There's Luke Jackson. We're going to take our first time out of the show. You're listening to the Friday Baseball Show with Stan the Fan and Griffin Bass. When we return, we'll chit-chat for a few minutes, and then we'll grab Andre Magaro, who is the play-by-play voice and broadcast and creative media manager for the Chesapeake Baysox. This is Stan the Fan. You know we talk all the time about our O's stepping up in the big moments, delivering when it matters most. If you've been injured in a car accident anywhere around Baltimore, that's your big moment, and you need someone who delivers. That's why I'm here to tell you about Warnken Injury Lawyers. They fight for Baltimore families every single day. Insurance companies play games. Warnken plays to win. So call 443-RESULTS. That's 443-RESULTS, or go to warnkenlaw.com. When you need results, it's right there in the number, 443-RESULTS.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery, because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
This summer, the world gathers on the biggest stage in sports, and only one place puts you in the front row for every thrilling moment. Live Casino. June 9th through July 19th, surround yourself with massive screens, trophy-worthy specials, and arena-sized energy. This isn't a game, it's history in the making. Watch the world play at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of PressBox is available now. On the cover, Bill Ordine dives in on how different Preakness will be temporarily at Laurel Park, and then long-term once it returns to Pimlico. Also inside, Luke Jackson learns more about what Trey Hendrickson will bring to the Ravens. And Karuga Koinange looks at how Samuel Basayo is influencing the Orioles' international signing efforts. PressBox is available for free at over 250 locations throughout the region, including your Baltimore area High's Dairy stores. Plus, you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Did you change the channel? You did not. You're listening to the baseball show with Griffin Bass and Stan the Fan Charles.
We are back on the Friday baseball show. Stan the Fan and Griffin Bass.
Thank you. I was afraid you almost forgot who I was.
I never forget you, Griffin. I never forget you. Are you here next week?
Yes. Next week I'm here.
And what did we discuss yesterday? What are we going to
do this right now?
Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to take off the 3rd.
Right.
Right before July 4th.
Right.
And then the 10th we planned it. We'll figure out a way to do the show.
But next week, the 26th.
Yeah.
Did we have discussion about who we're getting?
No, I don't think we did yet.
Okay.
I don't think we did yet. We'll do that. We can do that. We want to do that right now, or do you want to do that after the show?
I would never discuss things like that nature on the show. It's just Jacob Mizorowski. He's pretty good.
I know. I've been able to. So I'm in my fantasy matchup. I have the Miz, of course.
You have the Miz.
I do have the Miz. I'm in. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun having him. Yeah. I think he's given up like 1 run since May 1st. It's which is good. I think.
Right.
It's just 1 run across like 7 or 8 starts. Obviously complete game last time out for the Miz, but I'm playing. So I'm number 1 in the league, and then I'm playing number 2 right now. My buddy Ethan. So I've been jawing at him.
Ethan Anderson?
Not Ethan Anderson. I've been Ethan Brathoon, of course. I've been jawing with him all week. We are far and away the best 2 teams in the league. Our offenses are like both Barry Bonds. It's pretty great, and I've been like, just wait, dude. The Miz pitches tonight, and that's when the matchups. That's when the nail goes into the coffin.
Goes in the coffin.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Joining us now is the play-by-play voice of the Chesapeake Baysox, and he's got an interesting secondary title. He's the broadcasting and creative media manager of the Chesapeake Baysox. That is Andre Magaro. Andre, first of all, thank you for setting me up the other night out there at Prince, what's it called?
Yeah, Prince George's Stadium.
Prince George's Stadium. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy to do so, and then thank you guys for having me on.
Got a chance to see Luis De Leon for the first time. What are your impressions of him? Is he making some progress as the season goes on?
I would say so. I think guys like De Leon, a very young player that is getting an opportunity here with a tough first month under his belt for sure. But I think he really bounced back nicely in the month of May, and the strikeout numbers are continuing to go back up, and he's continuing to piece together really good outings. He had a great bounce back in that outing in Altoona 2 weeks ago, and then put it together with another solid start, like you said, on Wednesday.
Who's the pitching coach there at Chesapeake? And do you observe whether Forrest Herman is in visiting with this group of starters?
Yeah, so our pitching coach is Jeremy Heilman. It's his second season with the organization, first up here at AA, and Forrest will make his rounds. Obviously, a lot of full season affiliates to keep tabs on, but he'll be around and he'll be in helping work with the arms and helping provide an extra set of hands there with Jeremy as they continue to develop these guys.
So the improvements you've seen with De Leon over, say, the last half dozen starts, have they been quantifiable in terms of his statistics, Has he been much better? He looked good the other night to me. A couple defensive lapses behind him, in my opinion. But your thoughts on the last 5 or 6 starts?
I would say so. I think with some of the changes that he's making, landing the strikes more consistently. He's a guy that when he gets ahead of hitters, he's got some of the nastiest stuff in the system and across the minor leagues in order to put guys away. An incredible ground ball pitcher with that sinker, and then again the other stuff, the slider, the four-seamer, and the splitter that he's been working on as well, really generates a lot of swing and miss. So it's been great to see him get ahead of guys and start to put them away. But like you mentioned, talking about other things that happen outside of just the physical pitching from him, that's been where his growth has been as well, and maybe a way that isn't as quantifiable. When you see things maybe not go your way, maybe you execute a pitch really well and the hitter just beats you.
Yep.
Being able to bounce back and keep that firm mentality batter to batter and not let that snowball. It's been a really great thing to see from him, just to, sometimes things aren't going to go your way. They're not controllable, but being able to stay on top of it and continue to have an efficient outing. I think it's something that he showed last night, or on Wednesday, excuse
night.
me.
Yep.
You get a homer that goes over and you don't let it stockpile at just that, and you kind of silence the bats from there on.
The guy I'm really anxious to talk to you about, and unfortunately it turns out I have a 95th birthday party I have to go to. Not for me, but for a relative on Saturday, is Joseph Zerwa. Tell us a little bit about how impressive he's been since his promotion from Frederick.
Yeah, he's been great. He comes out, attacks guys, and really has a solid game plan, batter to batter, every single start. Really impressive stuff, obviously. The arm angle, he'll drop it down a little bit, and just the way that he presents the ball, it makes it really, really tough on hitters. But somebody that just goes out, consistently attacks. And again, when stuff isn't going his way, maybe he's getting hit, gives up a couple of base runners, he doesn't shy away from throwing his best stuff at all. There's been some situations where maybe there's been some traffic on the base paths for him early in outings, and he's bared down and he's gotten guys out. And so I think he's been super impressive. Obviously, the strikeout numbers are some of the best in all of minor league baseball when you combine his work with both Frederick and then here at Chesapeake. And those strikeout numbers haven't gone anywhere since he's been up here at Double-A. So getting a lot of swing and miss. And again, when he is getting hit, he's not letting it stockpile.
Let me ask you one question. The strikeouts, are they a product of his velocity, or is it more a funky motion or a being tough to pick up, or is it velocity?
I think it's a little bit of both. I've been really impressed watching Zerwa throw. He can find a little extra on that fastball when he needs to. He knows the right moments to pick too, when he needs to generate a little bit more and grab some swing and miss. But I think obviously the presentation and the arm angle is super, super challenging from both sides of the plate as well.
Since we're talking pitch, I want to get into some of the bats at some point, Andre. But obviously, pitching is the name of the game, and that's who everyone up here in Baltimore is wants to know what pitchers are on their way here. So, and I know guys, the organization's dealt with some injuries like Patrick Riley and Braxton Bragg, who are some young, exciting guys, but they're working their way back from arm injuries. So, what other pitchers are at Double-A or at Chesapeake right now that people should be keeping an eye on? Maybe one like Horan Watts Brown, who came over at the deadline last year. Who are some other guys that we should be keeping an eye on?
Yeah, Watts Brown's another guy that is some really, really nice breaking stuff through last night. The slider is very, very good for him. His changeup is getting a lot of swing and miss. He has some really good stuff. You mentioned he came over in the trade last year when the Orioles sent Sir Anthony Dominguez to the Blue Jays. I also, in a first year at Double-A, Sebastian Gongora is another member of the rotation that has been great. A good 4-pitch mix for him. A really, really nice curveball that he's turned to a little more often than a fastball, slider, and changeup. But he has nearly cut his ERA in half from what it was in his first full pro season last year between Single-A and High A. And just a guy, again, that he will be in the zone constantly, doesn't issue a whole lot of free passes, and can bounce back from some adversity. And he's been really, really good and a really impressive arm as well. Another lefty in that rotation that's certainly impressed in his first year at Double-A.
Then now to go offensively, we were talking about him actually earlier in the show, but like the tandem of Tomas Sosa and Aaron Estrada, those seem like the two of the bigger bats right now with the Baysox. What's it like watching them? How can you describe their style of play?
Yeah, so both very, very talented, both also among the youngest everyday position players in the Eastern League, just in terms of age. So for them to get up there at that age, an accomplishment in itself. But both excelling with a different style at the plate, right? Estrada is a guy that is getting more lift on the ball this year and done a really good job with his pitch recognition, choosing pitches to swing at and do damage with, which is part of why the power numbers are up for him. But a guy that's going to hit for a high average is going to hit a lot of line drives and hit a lot hard. Sosa's a guy that has some jaw-dropping power. He hit a homer on Tuesday that went over an estimated 400 feet, went into the treetops beyond the outfield wall there at Prince George's Stadium, and just a guy that has a ton of power, ton of extra base hit potential, and can do a lot of damage. So two different profiles. Estrada is a switch hitter. Sosa comes in from the left side, but both, again, amongst the youngest everyday position players in the league, and both finding their swings really, really well right now.
How about defensively? How are both of those guys holding up? Sosa's listed at 6'4", 160. Is that accurate in your opinion?
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say, sometimes you get those measurements and maybe there's a little more muscle on there than a 160. I think that's a fair assessment. Sosa's a guy that'll be in the corner outfield primarily. Has a really, really good arm. He's nailed some guys at the plate and it's kind of made you pick your jaw up off the floor with some of the velocity that you can reel up on those throws from the outfield. He's also gotten a handful of starts at first base as well, and his defense there has improved very well. Estrada was a guy that moved around the diamond a little bit last year. He's stuck exclusively at second base this year, and I've been really impressed by him seeing his first step. He's a really quick guy as well, if you'll watch him on the base paths, and he's really worked hard on getting a good first step over at second base, which has helped him range to some balls that maybe he wasn't previously getting to in the past. And then his turns on double plays have also been really, really sharp this year. Between him, Griffo Farrell, and Carter Young on that middle infield, there's a lot of really smooth hands and some quick turns for some double plays that have been a lot of fun to watch.
Speaking of hands, got to see Ethan Anderson the other night. I like his swing, and his numbers are pretty decent. But a couple times they tried to steal on him. He had trouble with the exchange both times. Is that something you've seen all season, or was that just sort of a funky night for him?
Yeah, that was definitely an outlier. I think that also is dependent on the types of pitches. I'm going to give some credit to Rutschman, the team that they were facing. It's one of the best teams in all of minor league baseball this year. They're 20 games over 500, and they are just a really, really solid all-around group. They were picking some good pitches to run on, some breaking balls and some pitches where Ethan had to reach across his body, which always makes it really difficult, especially with a guy like De Leon, where all of this stuff moves so much. That sinker and that slider. It's tough to get into a position to throw a guy out in a position like that. I think the other thing that as I go around and talk to people that they're not super aware of, there have been some rule changes in AA this year, and one of them is one disengagement per plate appearance. And so that makes neutralizing the running game a lot harder this
I did not know that.
year at this level.
Do you like that rule?
That one. It's been interesting. The first half of the season is going to end following the game on Sunday here when the series wraps up against Richmond. So we've had about half a season to digest it. I think it's been an entertaining watch. I think there's some gives and some takes. I've talked to base runners about it. Tavian Josenberger is a guy that is one of the best base runners in the system and leads the team in steals right now. And he likes obviously how it can allow you to be more aggressive because it's similar to the big leagues, right? You get the one disengagement, then you have to get them on the second one or it's a free bag. So after they throw over the first time, you have a pretty good idea of being able to get a good jump and get a good run. And it's difficult for pitchers to then neutralize the running game as a result. And you've seen teams be more aggressive on the base paths as a result. And then even from a catching perspective, I've noticed a lot more back picks this year just to try to hold those guys honest when they're not running.
Wanted to ask you about one other pitcher that's already been promoted from you guys to Norfolk, and that's reliever Yaki Rivera. Tell me a little bit about him.
Yeah, it's been great watching Yaki really dominate Double-A when he came in this season, and then what he's continued to do in Norfolk, I would say, is fair to reflect on that dominance, especially what he did last night for the Tides. He's another guy that has a really good two-seamer, a sinker that he can generate a lot of weak contact on and a nice complement of secondary pitches as well. He was used as a very, very young guy ahead of the learning curve at Double-A last year in more short relief outings. This year, they've stretched him out to more eat up multiple innings. I know the Tides have used him to start some games. He started one game here on a bullpen day and threw about 3 frames, but he's a guy now that is going 2 to 3 innings. His velocity is not, what we come accustomed to. You guys were talking about Jacob Mizorowski before you woke me on the air here. He's not going to be throwing triple digits. He's a guy that sits more in the low to mid 90s, but still generates a fair share of swing and miss. And I think they've really found that sweet spot for him. He was a starter in the complex when he came up with the Marlins. He was dealt to Baltimore and actually the Tanner Scott deal. He was a player to be named later in that trade. So when he was first coming up with the Marlins through the complex, he did start some games. And then he was used more in short relief last year. And I think the org has really found a good sweet spot for him, eating up multiple innings out of the bullpen or maybe being an opener of sorts in some games. And he has really kept hitters off balance with his repertoire.
Andre, I wanted to ask you about you personally, but first, promote a little bit about what's coming up on the rest of this homestand.
Yeah, really fun weekend at Prince George's Stadium, right? We have fireworks both tonight and on Saturday night. Saturday's a fan favorite. It's Star Wars night, annually held at the ballpark. So, all the different fan groups come out. They're in character. There'll be some in-between inning lightsaber battles, I'm told, and it always is a fun night at the ballpark. Of course, the fan groups will be roaming around on the concourse as well. Baysox,
will you be in your Obi-Wan Kenobi outfit when you broadcast the game?
You know what? I won't. I can't quite pull that one off as good as the as good as the professionals can, right?
Yeah.
I'll just rock with the modest polo. That's usually my go-to.
All right. What else on this homestand?
Yeah, so they'll have the specialty jerseys on Saturday as well. That'll be signed by the players and auctioned off afterwards. And then Sunday, of course, is Father's Day. So there's a barbecue offer upstairs and in the picnic areas, and then also an opportunity to go celebrate a day with Dad for a Sunday matinee. So it should be a fun end to the homestand here. And then we go back home again next week against Harrisburg to open up the second half.
All right. Let me talk to you a little bit about you. How many years have you been with the Baysox now? Is this your second year, third year?
It's actually season number 4 for me with the Baysox overall.
Jeez whiz. Time flies. Time flies.
It does.
And you have this unique title. So I know most play-by-play guys in the minor leagues are also doing a lot of other things. Tell me about this position in addition to your play-by-play responsibilities of broadcasting and creative media manager. What is that?
Yeah, so right now for this season, I've done, like you said, outside of the broadcasting, I'll oversee the public relations for the team as well. So that's the creation of, the daily game notes and the resources and information on the players and the team that go out to the media. Also help set up, media inquiries with outlets that come in to provide coverage of the team as well. And then there's also a graphic design aspect of my job. So a lot of the baseball related materials, like lineup graphics, like player recognition, player promotion, final score, stuff like that also falls into my bucket. And then I help design our digital game program as well, along with a couple of other different graphic design projects that'll filter throughout the season.
And where'd you go to school and what'd you major in? Was it broadcast?
It was. I went to Penn State University and majored in broadcast journalism.
Okay. Griffin, you got anything?
I guess if I can ask about one more player that we didn't bring up, Brandon Butterworth. I'm a little curious about Andre. How's he looked this season? Has he shown signs? I know he's a little banged up right now, but has he shown signs of why he's a guy that Mike Elias and company would want to be after when they brought him over from the trade deadline last year?
It's funny. So Brandon collegiately played at North Carolina State, and he drew some comparisons to another NC State guy, and Trey Turner. Just for like a similar build and profile. And I would say those comps are fairly fair. Butterworth is a guy that plays all over the diamond. He played more outfield this year when he was healthy for the Baysox and worked that into his repertoire. But he was a leadoff guy here the first couple months of the season when he was healthy. And he does have some sneaky pop as well. Hit a couple leadoff homers, and a guy that is just very, very solid all around the diamond, whether it's on that left side of the infield or again in the outfield. The speed is definitely a game changer, a guy that can get on and wreak some havoc on the base paths, and a guy that, again, can plug in at numerous different positions. We see that super utility role just continue to expand in the baseball world as time goes on and the game evolves, and he's somebody that definitely does it at a really high level and has a lot of really good tools.
I'm going to ask you about one more player and then one more question. The other night I saw Willie Vasquez. He had a pretty good night Wednesday night, didn't he?
He did.
Is he a recent call up from Frederick?
So he was rehabbing with Frederick. He spent a little bit of time with Norfolk at the beginning of the year. I think got a little banged up. So he rehabbed recently and has been spending some time with us. But he's somebody, again, that sees the ball really well, pretty much can count on to get on base 1 to 2 times a night, take his walks, and then when there's a pitch there to do damage with, he's been swinging it really, really well right now.
All right. Last question I have for you. I know you don't have a pipeline to Mike Elias and what his thinking is, but you seem like the type that follows pretty closely everything going on in the organization. Do you anticipate another player or two coming up to you from Frederick?
I like you said, I don't really have any insight there, and I don't have any expertise on the pipeline, but I know right now we've got a great group. We've got a great group of guys and a great system. That's what I've noticed doing this now in my 4th season. Everybody that has been at this ballpark and called it home has been first class. They go down there, work every single day, and they commit themselves to the organizational philosophy, not just making themselves better, but making everybody around them better. Being able to work with Roberto Mercado and his staff for so many years has been such a blessing. He's first-class manager for everything that he has done for me, to be a part of, and I'm just really grateful to get to interact with all of these guys and be a small part of their story every single day.
All right. Well, go ahead. You got something else?
Last one, I swear, Andre.
We swear this will be the last.
How did Dylan Beavers look last night?
He looked great. He actually got challenged straight out of the gate. There were some hard hit baseballs right at him in right field. He was really explosive with his first step. The range was really good. And he hauled him in pretty comfortably. And then, in these rehab assignments, you don't necessarily look at the results as much as the crispness of the movement, right? But he had a really, really good couple of at-bats. Didn't really get anything to hit his first at-bat. I don't even think he took the bat off his shoulders. And then in the second AB, he fouled off a number of really tough 2-strike pitches. The guy starting for Richmond last night is a pretty good arm that's pitched rather well in this league now for a couple of different organizations. And Dylan fouled off a couple of tough 2-strike pitches and worked a 9-pitch walk, which was really comforting to see. And I thought his movement in right field was really, really crisp.
Good stuff.
Hey, we really appreciate your coming on. Great to meet you. And we'll look forward to getting you on again. And I want to get out and see Joseph Zerwa very soon.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you very much for the time. Have a great rest of your day.
All right. Great appearance. Thank you, Andre. Andre Magaro, who's the play-by-play voice at Chesapeake Baysox, as well as being the broadcasting and creative media manager of the team. Are we going to take a timeout now and tell people a little bit about County Sports?
We should do that. That's a great call, Stan, because, of course, Stan, you know that at countysports.zone.
I know everything about County Sports.
That's true. You get all the counties, you get all the teams, all the sports. Yes, all the sports, all the teams, all the counties here in the state of Maryland with the latest updates on all of your favorite sports and teams. Go to countysports.zone. Of course, if you missed anything from the spring season, you can go check it out now, and you can probably start looking at fall schedules and whatnot, and any updates on football, soccer, etc. What's coming up in the fall over at countysports.zone, powered by BuyAToyota.com. When we come back, we'll do This Week in the Rest of Baseball, right, Stan?
Sounds good, and I'll take a quick look at the power rankings.
Sounds like a plan.
All right.
This summer, the world gathers on the biggest stage in sports, and only one place puts you in the front row for every thrilling moment. Live Casino. June 9th through July 19th, surround yourself with massive screens, trophy-worthy specials, and arena-sized energy. This isn't a game, it's history in the making. Watch the world play at Live Casino. At Arundel Mills, must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your car is more than just a ride. It's an investment. At Leading Edge Auto Body in Mount Washington, we've spent over 20 years perfecting the art of repair. From high-end imports to your trusted daily driver, we handle all makes and models with elite precision. Our team holds the highest honors in the industry, including ASE Master, iCar Platinum, and specialized aluminum certifications. We make it easy with free towing, pickup, and delivery because at Leading Edge, customer satisfaction comes first. And remember, with insurance, it's your car and it's your choice. Choose the experts. Leading Edge Auto Body. Quality you can see. Service you can trust. Go to leadingedgeautobody.com today.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
This is Byron Warnken. If you've been injured in Maryland, you know you need a great lawyer. Look no further than us, Warnken LLC. You've seen my picture on billboards around town. You've seen me on TV. Now I'm lucky enough to get to be here with Stan. Please give us a call. 443-RESULTS. It is not just a phone number, it's a mission. 443-RESULTS. Or visit us online at warnkenlaw.com. That's WARNKENLAW.com.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
When you feel invisible, exhausted, stressed, or anxious, when you have days that just feel too hard to get through, you are not alone. If you or someone you love is struggling with mental health or problems with drugs or alcohol, help is right in your hands. Call or text 988 to get support whenever you need it. Help is here. Call or text 988. Brought to you by Maryland Department of Health.
It's Gus Johnson, and you're listening to the Baseball Show with Griffin Bass. It's the NFL Charles!
All right.
Who was that? Do you know who that was?
That was Colton Cowser, wasn't it?
That was not.
That wasn't Colton Cowser.
You weren't listening. You weren't listening.
No, who was?
He actually said his name. He said it was Gus Johnson. It was Gus Johnson, the great.
Gus Johnson,
the great broadcaster, not the former.
I had my cans off.
Oh, okay.
You know, my cans.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, headsets. That's what they're called.
You excited for the USA match today?
Yeah, at 3:00 against Australia.
Yeah,
it's in Seattle.
It is.
Which stadium are they playing? They're playing at.
So it's weird.
Are they playing at the football stadium?
They are. They're playing it at Lumen Field, but they're not calling it that. They're calling it Seattle Stadium because FIFA's weird, and they didn't want anyone to they're playing I think they're calling it Dallas Stadium or something, or Texas Stadium, whatever.
So
in Arlington, they're not calling it AT&T Stadium.
Right, they're not giving the names for free.
Correct. Yeah, which is. I don't know. Is that I don't know. It just seems
them being
odd.
FIFA.
I know.
It's just FIFA being FIFA.
It's a very weird. To me at least,
those
it seems weird.
Whether you like it or not, those are the names of the stadium.
Right. Yeah. I think it's gonna say. I mean, are they taking down the big thing that says Lumen Field on it? Or is the broadcast only gonna show directly above aerial shots?
That's
so
probably
you can't see the side.
You can't see the signs.
It's weird.
All right. Are we doing This Week in the Rest of Baseball?
Yes, we are.
Is Miss Berman going to be on?
Have you ever thought of taking a cruise to these wonderful destinations with sunny skies and beautiful beaches? Well, wait no longer. We're ready for you to cruise from the Cruise Maryland Terminal.
Have a little phrase that you can go from baggage to margarita in about 15 minutes.
Choose fun with an array of destinations, onboard activities, entertainment, and world-class cuisine.
Contact your travel agent and book your cruise today. Let your adventure begin.
This week
in the rest of
baseball.
All right, Stan, we got another edition of This Week in the Rest of Baseball, and another a week of baseball it was. I guess, Stan, the biggest news that we're going to start with, I believe it came out yesterday, or was it Wednesday night? I think it was yesterday. The MLB has proposed a new draft proposal. They've a new drafting process, basically. So instead of like 20 rounds, they would break it up and do a international draft and a domestic draft. So they'd split it up. Each would be 12 rounds, and both teams would, teams would have less money, like less total signing bonus pool money to sign as well in each draft. Which I guess if it's only 12 rounds, that it won't impact it too much. But they also made a few other changes. And so for the domestic draft, it would be, again, this is all proposals from the MLB. The MLBPA did not really like any of them. But in the domestic draft, no high school players. You would not be able to select high school players anymore, and they would, instead of 3 years in college, it would be down to 2 years. So players would have to, I think, turn 20 by September 1st of the year that they are drafted.
It's a pretty substantial change.
Yeah, that is pretty significant. No high school players being drafted anymore. And, so people are kind of like, it's a weird thing for the MLB to do because it's kind of like they want college to become.
High school players have been
very good
for a long time.
And they've been very good too. But some very good, some maybe not good, but but you can find very good players right out of high school. Bobby Witt obviously is a good example. Jackson Holliday was drafted out of high school, and hopefully he turns into Bobby Witt. Maybe, I don't know. Is he going to? No, he's not going to.
No.
But yeah, so that was that was the domestic draft proposal, and basically what it kind of feels like it's making it look like is that MLB just wants to use college, almost like how college football is for the NFL,
right?
Make that now your developmental league, and maybe is this a way of them subtly kind of trying to flush more minor league teams, out of the way in some way or fashion. And then it also is another bad look with the international draft because teams similarly, it was players had to be age 17 by the year that they were drafted, by September 1st by the team that they're drafted. Now that would raise the age to 18 for international players.
Okay.
And basically what that would, so Eric Kratz, our friend Eric Kratz from Foul Territory kind of broke this down yesterday, and it would force players in a lot of instances to hit free agency later in their career than earlier. So like Juan Soto, Eric Kratz brought up the example of Juan Soto, who hit free agency basically at the height of his prime at age 26, rather than, most players probably hitting free agency like 28, 29. Yeah. Adley is going to be 30 if he hits free agency, or I guess he might be 29. He's right. 28 now. So that allows a guy like Juan Soto where you can give him a 10-year deal and he's still going to be like 35 at the end of that, and you give him $700 million. So it's kind of feels like it's a way of the MLB and maybe the owners trying to find a way to just save a couple million here or there. Just not relatively well received. It does, like the international draft idea.
Does the MLBPA have any say over the international draft? Do they have to approve it?
Yeah, I think they would. Like they would have to agree on all this, and that's why I'm trying to figure out. Clearly, MLB doesn't want all of these. I mean, they probably would take all of them, but
they're
expecting
throwing as much stuff against the wall.
And it all seems weird as well with the obviously with the CBA and expiring
any
at the end
negotiation.
Of the year.
If you throw 20 things
right,
against the wall and you get 14 of them,
or even one of them probably that. So that's basically the latest update on the MLB players versus the MLB and the owners, basically. So that's your latest update. We'll see if any of that comes to fruition. It does sound like the international draft sounds like potentially
it's coming.
And so I'm not sure if that would result in a shorter domestic draft rather than the 20, go to 12 rounds rather than the 20.
Would they supposedly be the same? Are they proposing it be the same day?
I don't think so. Let me pull it up again here, and I doubt it. I doubt it. I guess it would probably be similar to. I mean, I guess because there's no international draft now, right? Like it's just kind of it's kind of a free for all.
Agents,
let's see here. I don't know. I don't know when the draft will be. I mean, no, I don't think they'd be on the same day. I don't think it'd be like, all right, the Angels are up and they get to pick a high school, a college player, and now they get to pick a Latin player.
No. I didn't think they'd draft simultaneously.
Right.
But I mean, okay.
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
I would
All right.
imagine. I guess they might both probably be sometime in the summer though. Like
All
that
right.
would the kind of similar to the way it is set up now. But yeah, that's the latest. I mean, an international draft sounds like, and it probably would still be relatively like they could turn that into some sort of television product as well, like the MLB draft is.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to reach.
Maybe throw the home run derby in.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of the home run derby, Stan, good job. We have a new format for the home run derby
starting this year.
They're going
scrapping the clock.
We're getting rid of the clock,
So
and
what
it's
is
going
it,
to be
a certain amount of pitches?
swing based. Yeah, it's going to be It's going to be a certain number of swings. So we'll be at 8 participants again. Top 4 are going to advance. 20 swings in round 1, and then 15 swings in the next 2 in round 2, and then 15 in the final round as well. So a player who homers in his last swing in any round will be able to continue until he makes an out or wins his round. So Schwarber is sitting at 15 home runs, and he needs to reach 17.
And he gets to the 15th swing and hits a home run, he can get another swing.
Yep, he gets another swing. Yeah.
Okay.
So those are the new rules. They're scrapping the clock, which I guess is positive. I don't know. Or you were a big home run derby
Are they going to
guy.
have the ABS challenge system involved?
I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I think you can take as many as you want now.
Right.
So it doesn't really matter. It's not the 3 minutes on the clock or whatever, and then the weird rules of whether you got an extra 30 seconds, then an extra 30 seconds, which never. I was really confused. It was like if you just hit a ball 400 feet, or basically was the it was a weird rule.
Oh, you got extra swings.
Yeah,
if
you
hit
got
a-
extra. Well, you got extra 30 seconds because they were doing a time.
Okay.
They were doing a time thing, and so in 3 minutes it was as many home runs as you want.
What is this?
Read the name on the little tag there, Stan. We're gonna give some plugs
Raven,
here.
it's a
Yeah, we're
Raven-
Glenn and Rita are giving that one away this week.
It's a Ravens purse.
Yes, it's a Ravens football purse. That's a friend of ours. So can you read the name on the?
Ann Gaylord.
There you go, Ann Gaylord bags. Yeah, so shout out Ann Gaylord.
So we'll just show the football. We can, and Ann's name. We shouldn't show the in honor of FIFA.
This is my fault, Stan. I shouldn't have gone to home run derby. Obviously, you didn't care about the home run derby, so that was I let you get distracted. That's on me. I shouldn't have gone to derby because there's other good things happening in the rest of baseball. The Cubbies are playing a little bit better of late, and that is mainly because of Pete Crow Armstrong. They very much go the way that PCA goes. He hit for the cycle on what day was that? That was Monday night. And ESPN gave out this stat that Pete Crow Armstrong is batting .340 and OPSing over 1,000 with 9 homers.
When they win.
When they lose, he is batting .172, .545 OPS, and he has just 3 home runs in Cubs losses this year. But he did hit for the cycle on Monday, which was fun. I don't know if you saw the single was the last one of his that he needed to achieve. So I don't know if you saw, Stan. I'm trying to pull this up here. He got obviously a big standing ovation from the crowd, and
he's on base already.
Yes,
though.
he's on base. Well,
Okay.
you just want to see a lazy single. You wanted to see.
Okay, go ahead. This is the crowd.
Yeah, he's getting a standing ovation here, and he may be getting swept up in the moment just a little bit. Bottom of the 7th inning. Oh no, he got picked off because he was just kind of relishing the moment maybe a little bit too much.
You know, that should take away the cycle.
You think that should take away the cycle?
I think in the case where the single is the last hit and you get it, if you get picked off.
Not even a pitch was thrown. This was before a pitch was thrown. I'm glad I brought it up because
that's embarrassing.
That's what I was going to ask. Courtesy of Marquee
I'm not a
Sports.
big PCA fan.
Really?
No. I'm a Cat fan.
Carl Anthony Towns is your guy. But yeah, Cubs are playing a little bit better.
I'm a what's his name? SGA.
What's his name?
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I'll give it to you. Give it to you. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Yeah.
Gilgeous.
Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA.
Not a big PCA fan, though.
Speaking of other teams that are playing pretty well, the Nationals are 3 games over 500 right now. They are tied for the 3rd NL wildcard spot right now.
That is amazing.
Are the Nats legit?
Well,
their pitching's not very good.
There's two teams, the White Sox and the
That was the other one I was
and the
gonna bring up.
Nats. Yeah.
Obviously, the Nats are playing well, and I just really wanted to get this stat in on James Wood. James Wood, courtesy of Nats TV, their broadcast.
Is he the actor, James Wood?
No, he's a baseball player. Player from I think he's from Moco, right? He's a Maryland guy. James Wood has already faced in as many pitchers. He's only 23 years old. He has already faced as many pitchers in his career as Ted Williams did in his entire career. 447 pitchers, different pitchers that James Wood has faced. Ted Williams only faced 447 in his whole playing career.
Wow, how is that possible?
Gives you just kind of the state of baseball and where we're at. I know that was a crazy one. And you mentioned the White Sox. They might just be good. Are they good? The White Sox are good. They just lost 2 or 3 to the Yankees this week, but they did win last night and are currently 5 games over and first place in the American League Central by a 1,000th of a percentage point over Cleveland right now. And they're doing all this without Munetaka Murakami as well, who's only injured list, and he's been there for about 3 weeks now. And potentially a chance to grow their lead in the Central 2 stand as Kyle Teal nears his season debut coming off the IL, their star catcher who they got in the Crochet deal. And Cleveland is going the other way. They are not activating guys off the IL. They are clouded. They're cramming guys on their IL as just the past week.
And Martinez
and Chase DeLauder yesterday. Jose Ramirez, Angel Martinez, and Chase DeLauder, 3 of their top bats, all end up on the IL over the last 7 days for Cleveland. But Cade Smith has been maybe the best closer in baseball.
She sings a great "God Bless America." Kate Smith.
Oh, Kate Smith. Cade.
Oh, Cade Smith.
Yeah. The closer for the Guardians. Their pitching's been very good. The question's going to be kind of how it seems like what it always is their offense going to be enough? And without Jose Ramirez, it's kind of like where's it going to come from? So. Yeah. So American League Central races could be a fun one to watch down the stretch here.
White Sox blowout.
You think so?
Could be.
You going to predict that?
I'm about to.
All right.
I'm about to.
Andrew Painter, the stud pitcher for, well, at least we thought stud pitcher for the Phillies.
Not such a stud.
He has been optioned by the Philadelphia Phillies after his most recent start. He gave up, I didn't even pull up the stats. He gave up a lot of runs in little innings. So Painter not having a great year. And
coming back from Tommy John.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah.
Just not working out for him, unfortunately. These Phillies are still playing much better baseball than they were over the first month and a half of the season.
This guy Wheeler is pretty good.
Zach Wheeler, is he good?
Is that his name?
Yeah, Zach.
What's his middle name? Because we could nickname him Z-A-W.
Zol. You want to call him Zol?
Zol.
And then lastly, Stan, I want to end with this one. Hold on, make sure I found it. I should have kept it towards the top, but it was like early. It was late in the week last week. So the Nats.
Woman's breast?
No, not the woman's breast.
Okay.
That's just the scene that it started on. This was on the Giants broadcast, Stan.
Right.
They were down early last. I guess it was Thursday. It might have been Thursday, so maybe this doesn't count as this week in baseball. But either way, I'm going to share.
Is this the game they came back and from?
They were down 10-1.
10-1. Right.
Yeah, Washington was up 10-1 in San Francisco. The Giants come all the way back. Well, it was 10-7. We don't know if they come back, and we'll spoil it. They came back. Yeah, bases were loaded with Bryce Eldridge at the plate, and who are the announcers? It's Kruk and Kip. Those are the announcers for the TV Giants announcers. But they were.
Kruk is with the Giants.
Not John Kruk. It's a different Kruk. I forget what. I don't know what it is.
Krukow?
No, yeah, maybe.
Dwayne Kuiper and
Kuiper and Krukow. Yes, but they call him Kruk or Kruk, I guess.
Okay.
But they were going back and forth because obviously the Giants were mounting this massive comeback. They had a tarps off section, of course, your favorite, a building, and basically I'll just let them take over.
It may be more than tarps off if Eldridge knocks one out of here.
I'm going to hold you to it. Time to drop trout and hog out.
So yeah,
I couldn't tell. Was she a Giant fan or was that a Washington Nationals?
I think she was a Giants fan. She was a Giants fan. Yeah, she was not the story. You were very focused on her throughout the entire time.
I knew the story. That's old news.
Did you hear what he said? Drop Trow and and hog
I
out.
heard him say.
Would you have been held to it?
Trow.
You wouldn't have dropped Trow.
No,
but it was tarps off, and you just a 9-run comeback, and you want to walk off grand slam.
Tarps off is the shirts off, not your pants.
Yeah, but he was saying,
Yeah, it'll be more than
tarps off. So how do you go more than tarps off? Drop Trow.
That's interesting.
Hog out.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That's fascinating.
Okay, all right.
That's this week in the rest of baseball.
That was this week in the rest of baseball.
All right. We'll take a quick look right now at the power rankings. The Dodgers are 3-0 this week. They started the week in the first position. They'll stay there. The Atlanta Braves are 0-2 this week. They probably won't stay at number 2. Yankees have been playing surprisingly well without Aaron Judge. They're 2-1 this week. They were number 3. They'll probably move to number 2.
Wow.
Milwaukee will probably move all the way up to number 3.
What were they at?
They were at 4, and the Atlanta Braves will most likely fall to 4th, with the Phillies staying number 5.
Who do the Braves have this week? Oh, they have Philly this week?
The Braves play this weekend. They play the Milwaukee Brewers.
Oh, okay.
So
that'll be a battle for the third spot.
Their third spot. Tampa's 0-3 this week.
What if the Yankees go 0-3 though? They play the Red Sox.
Yeah.
Or no, they don't. No, they play Cincy.
I have all the schedule here. Boston plays at Seattle this
Sorry,
week.
That's
okay.
I was thinking of next week maybe.
Yankees will play.
Cincinnati.
Yankees will be playing home against Cincinnati.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
Tampa is
Cincinnati's
home against
not been playing
DC.
well.
Seattle is home against Boston. The White Sox go to Detroit for 3. They have a chance to move to like 6th if they have a good weekend in
The White
Detroit.
Sox do?
Yeah, they're number
Wow.
8 right now.
Holy cow.
Number 9 is St. Louis. They've got a 4-game stand in Kansas City, which they lost the first game yesterday by a big score. So that's a look at
where are the Orioles at right now?
Orioles were 20th. And they got as high as 18, and then they immediately lost those 4 in a row. They're 20th now.
If they lose, they get swept by the number 1 team.
They could be 23rd.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something.
If they lose 2 out of 3 of the number 1 team, is that more? Maybe they might be steady, or
it's possible. It depends. It's dependent upon the team.
Any chance they win this series?
I don't see it. Okay. I think tonight is as close to a lock as it gets for the Dodgers.
You just don't believe in Trey Gibson?
No, do not believe in him yet.
Trevor Rogers tomorrow, Brandon Young on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a chance we could win each of those games.
Even with Yamamoto tomorrow night for L.A.?
I don't consider that as big a lock as tonight. Okay. You know, I think they'll score 8 or 9 runs tonight against Mr. Gibson and company.
Wow. All right.
All right. That's going to do it for this week in the rest of baseball and on the Friday Baseball Show. It's been a pleasure, and we'll see you next Friday. For Griffin Bass, I'm Stan the Fan. Glenn Clark back on. Are you doing a show today?
No, we're doing back on Monday.
Back on Monday.
We're not going to compete with the USA Australia match.
All right.
Yeah.
That's a good. It's a good call.
It is a good call. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
But how about doing a post game? A post game soccer show today.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. I did wear my America polo today. But...
All right. Go U.S. Is that on Fox today?
Yes.
At 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock.
All
Coverage
right,
starts at 1. Coverage starts in 20
wow.
minutes. Yeah.
It's a lot
minutes.
to cover.
Yeah.
Are there tarps off in
I bet there would be if they can score some goals here.
Have we had tarps off at Camden Yards yet?
Yeah, there was one. I was at the game Friday night.
Like a mini
yeah.
thing.
I was there Friday night, and they were
like about 20 kids.
I thought there was a little more.
Okay.
It felt like a little bit more.
I think that's fun.
I do too.
Off, yeah.
I do too.
Trowel off is
trout.
Trout on. Trout's off.
Hog out. You don't like hog out?
Hog out. Yeah.
No hog out.
No hog out.
Drop trow.
Cat. I like cat.
The drop trow boys. You don't want to start. We can start our own section. We'll be the drop trow boys.
All right. Let's say goodbye, Griffin. Goodbye. That's it for this week. Bye.
Wait a minute. It's Friday? It's time for Stan the Fan, Chief Grand Poobah Man, and the Friday Baseball Baseball Show. Griffin Bass helps bring more class to the Friday Baseball Show. They'll talk best games, Dan Charles is his name on the Friday Baseball Show. He's been in the owner's suite. He's been doing sports talk since 81. He's only lived in Baltimore for 45 years, but we'll give him a break on that hunt. They'll acknowledge football, don't expect calls. It's the Friday Baseball Show. It's okay to say Glenn's back on Monday, but this